All right, guys. I am Nick. I am joined here with Trevor Firth, who is the Talent Relations Officer for VPW. Now, before we get into things, I just want to make it clear that this is a Triple T Radio exclusive, the first of its kind. Very happy to be doing this. Just to make you guys aware, VPW, you guys can see the logo. It's straight ahead. You can't miss it. I'm excited. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get right down to business, man. Myself personally, Trevor, I knew VPW as a Matt Pettifer and Dick Durnan production. This not the case no more.
No,
What's
that's not
going
the case
on?
anymore. I don't really know much about the original vision. I've done my research, of course, but no, I live in the Hamilton area up north, New Brunswick. I've lived in Fredericton before, but the new owner is Dana Christie. He also owned Outlaw Pro Wrestling down in Nova Scotia. But we've decided to bring Vision back because Fredericton market was, at the time, very dry. And we just thought we could start up there, and then the plan for Vision was to move around a little bit after Fredericton and try and bring that back. We thought it was a great name. It has a good lineage and history. It was unfortunate that it was just left behind, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about Vision. I was a part of the XWA, which kind of transferred over. And then it was like Vision was there, so it wasn't there, but then it was there. And it was, everybody was going there. I did not go over there. I think I caught a couple of shows. It was fun. It was neat. But it seems to me almost like maybe you guys have got quite a vision here. No pun. But,
Yeah.
Things seem to be looking on the up and up. You guys got some great talent lined up. I was looking at that. I found that was impressive. How do you guys plan to rebuild the Fredericton market as far as professional wrestling goes?
Well, the way we're going to try and stand out is primarily we are bringing in some slightly lesser known American talent that we're trying to bring some of them into here to show off what they can do and give some of our other guys, some different people from this area, maybe some opportunities as well.
Yeah, you guys seem to have your finger on the pulse because, number one, I know Titus is coming in. Huge fan. That guy is incredible. His work ethic is amazing in the ring. Super pumped. Shane Stevens, I think, is great. Chip Chambers, he speaks for, he's just incredible, and he's just got a gift.
Absolutely.
I can try to, just bullcrap my way through it with him, but I love him to death. I'd be lying to you if I sat here and tried to tell you anything different. I just think that, he reminds me of the kid that woke up one day and said, I want to be in the business, but he had every single tool and he could thrive on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He gives you that impression when you talk to him. He always does. It's incredible to see that.
Yeah, it is. So the purchase is done. You know what you're doing. You guys very similar with the logo. It's a great logo. It really is. I love the logo.
Thank you.
Moving forward, you guys are going to do this show coming up. I want to say, please correct me if I'm wrong, April 24th. It sounds like it's going to be a heck of a show.
We're going all out.
From that, is the plan monthly, semi-monthly? When it happens, it happens. What is the plan for the Fredericton market, knowing that's where you're starting?
Well, right now, I can't give details for it, but we do have something planned for May.
Okay.
So, and then, like we said, we had the idea that Vision, we would like it to travel a bit. With the owner living down in Nova Scotia in the Truro area, and me living up north, it gives us in New Brunswick, it gives us some options. And so there's possibilities that after May we might be looking to do one or two shows outside. But the goal really would be to have Fredericton as our home base.
So, Trevor, where do you come into all this? You're the talent relations. I know you and I have spoken, but what I want to do is give fans a little more of a general look at who Trevor Firth is, the man. I know you did some stuff with another company, CAW, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But where do you come into all this? What is the package with you involved with VPW?
Primarily, I somehow know some talent from the state. Also, I just try to. I like to think head creative. Like I like to write stories. I like to write matches. And really, if somebody wants to bring me onto a team, like that's what I want to do. I want to be involved in the creative process. That's where I feel like I can thrive. With talent relations, I'm primarily just booking venues. I'm talking to the workers directly. I'm talking to them about pay and whatnot. I don't deal with the final pay. I just figure out what their pay is and then give it to the owner.
That's right. Best bet. Best thing you can do in the business. Yep. You're not handing the envelopes.
Yep. He gives me a budget, and I'm doing my best to get a really, really great show out of that. So
sounds to me like that. Like he puts a lot of trust in you. I mean, he's counting on you to book his. I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but it sounds to me like he really believes in your thought process for the event. Not only your thought process and working with talent, but also using your head so he can get creative out of you. There's nothing better than someone who understands psychology, who gets the storytelling aspect of it, and also you can see the whole thing long before it ever plays out in the ring. You've already seen it all in your head. That's the best deal in the world, right? I know I can do that. And I know, and I'll be the first to say, guys, I sat here and I think I was on the phone with Trevor about a month ago, and I thought, well, we'll have a 5-minute conversation. And I think it lasted almost an hour long. And
almost.
Yeah, and we never stopped talking about the business. So really,
there's so much. The industry's amazing. That's right. Like, you could talk about it for days.
You can't stop. I mean, I do this show every Tuesday with Cue Ball, and it's just sometimes I don't even think we see where the time goes. We look and realize time's up, over, out, gotta go.
Absolutely.
Are you still with the CAW? What are you doing there? Is that kind of
CAW is honestly CAW. They gave my wife her start as a ref.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah, Maryse Landry, newest ref in New Brunswick.
Awesome, I love that. Love it. Little throw-in plug. Hey, how are you? Little quick plug. I love it. I enjoy. Yeah. Hey, listen.
Trevor,
we're gonna get her in VPW.
Absolutely.
Love it, man. Great, good stuff.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, sorry, what was the question again? I don't remember after that.
Trev, you can't throw that at me and expect me to be able to pick it up where I left off, man. I was counting you.
Yeah, CAW, yeah. What I do at CAW is primarily storytelling, head of creative. I just come up with, I work with the talent to book good shows.
Yeah.
Make sure people come back.
And that's it. I mean, you must. It's still there, so you must be doing something right.
I'm new as of this year, so.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, man, because obviously you're doing something right. Again, that big show coming up, April the 24th. Really, it's going to be exciting. It's in Fredericton, New Brunswick. It's Vision Pro. Yep. Tell me where's the main event of all this fit in? Like, who put that match together? To me, that's a great match.
Well, I've spoken to Anthony Gangone multiple times a few times over the last year as a fan. Just being like, man, love to see you in the Maritime area. If you ever want to come to Canada, Maritime's is the place to be. That kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so when I was finally given like an ability to book, I was like, well, why not just call Gangone, see, like, figure out his PO, see if he's available. He's currently the Excite International Champion.
Nice.
And so he got permission to defend the title up here for the main event.
Love that.
We couldn't ask for anything more amazing than that. It's incredible. The fact that Excite trusts a new company like us and trusts Gangone trusts us enough for something like that, it really means a lot.
Listen, man. This Tuesday night on Turnbuckles, Trunks, and Titles, we're looking back at the history of the NWA. So when you see someone defending the title that is not in that promotion, man, like, thumbs up. That's how it should be. End of story. I don't believe that if you're holding any sort of international title, man, go defend that belt anywhere you can. They should be welcoming you with open arms. You want to draw people, you want to draw money, bring in guys. Don't just book the 15 guys that you hang out with every single Friday, Saturday night, man. Look outside the box. There's a whole bunch of wrestlers that are just itching to get a spot on the card.
Absolutely. And the goal right now is, like, we're going to be booking a couple different guys from the States and hopefully build ourselves a nice kind of American roster of guys that are willing, couple interchangeable guys that are willing to come in and out for us, stuff like that. And a couple local guys that would be the same as well, interchangeable, not necessarily all the same guys every show.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that theory. Okay, so you got a women's match on the card. Super excited. You know, in the Maritimes, aside from like IHW, I know NWE's had a couple here and there, but you guys are kicking it off right. You guys are not waiting 3, 6, 9 months. You're getting right to it.
We don't actually have a women's division. This is just a women's match.
I love that it's placed on the card, though.
Exactly. You see, Chantal has been specializing herself lately in intergender wrestling.
Okay.
So when I talked to Gangone, one of the names that came up about possibilities was Valentina, who is making her name on intergender wrestling right now in the States. So I figured it'd be really interesting to bring them both in against each other and see what they could do. Like, I think it's going to be a really cool, really fun match. I can't wait to see what they put together.
I think you're making the right choice. You know, number one, everyone knows that women have, not only have they, but they've continuously made a mark in this business, and they don't get the notoriety that they deserve. Very similar to women referees. Very well deserving. And, you know, people sometimes they go, they blow it off like it's a second thought. It's not that important. But little do they know.
At the moment, my wife is the full-time ref for CAW. She does all 5 matches on our cards. So she marathons every show. And that's incredible.
Just gives me so much respect for her. It really does. Because, you know, ain't no one got time to do a marathon of a wrestling event as a referee. That's a very tiring job. And for her to go out and do that continuously, it just speaks volumes. And all she's doing is raising that bar just a little higher. And
she loves it.
The more she raises it, it's even more fun to watch that guy who's trying to jump and grab it because he can't catch it because they're spending so much time that, well, we need men refs. We need men refs. We need men refs. No, we don't. No, we do not. If we got a woman who is harder working, works just as hard, and is just as good, you don't have to always you don't have to go with what you know. Change it. Obviously,
She,
your wife is the standard bearer for that, especially here in the Maritimes. And I mean that in the most utmost respect toward her, yourself, obviously, because you can just hear it in your voice the how passionate you are, but also probably I know you are extremely proud of her for doing that. So I mean, hey, hats off to her, man. Good for you guys. That's awesome. Now,
it feels great.
sure does, and well deserved. Well deserved. So, what is how would I say this? Let's look in our futures of VPW. Where do you want to see it as the head of talent relations, the officer of the VPW? Where would you like it to be in a couple of years from now?
I would love it if VPW could be traveling to some of the, again, Fredericton is home, but traveling to some of the smaller places in New Brunswick and maybe a couple of smaller places in Nova Scotia. We don't always have to do big sellout shows.
No.
You know, like sometimes going to a community, making a few bucks, it's enough.
What are your thoughts on running a show for children?
Exactly. I mean, if it grows more wrestling fans for later, and if we get a lot of fans in smaller communities, like I was driving down to shows in Moncton. I was driving 2.5 hours to get to shows in Moncton. Absolutely, because I'm a fan, right? I love wrestling. So
Absolutely.
if other people fall in love with wrestling, some of them are going to travel for your shows to Fredericton. Some of them are going to travel. Like other companies are absolutely trying that and figuring that out right now.
Yes, they are. I always say, show me what I want to see, and I'll be there. Give me what I want. Now, I know you can't give me the whole world. That's not what I'm asking. But if you know that, there's 200 of us that are a big fan of this guy, man, and maybe he wrestles 90% of the time in Newfoundland. Think about it. Hey, man, nice cat. Fly him in. Let us come to your show. I'm going to go to your show, and I'm going to pay you $30. If that means I can watch the guy that I watch on YouTube because I can't see him in person, but now I've got a reason to go. And the variety that you guys are giving for this first show, and that's what it is, it's a variety. You're giving a little bit to that every fan. What does every fan want? Some want to see the girls. Some want to see a championship match. Some just want to see Chip Chambers. And that's it. And myself included, I would pay $30 to go see Chip Chambers. Because
then we have the triple threat for people who want chaos.
Exactly.
Madness, right?
Variety.
Little bit of everything. We got Leroy Green, the Switch Kid. Like, if you've never seen this kid on YouTube, like, oh my god, you have to check it out. It's incredible. It's such a spectacle. But
he is amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Being able to do what he does in the ring is incredible, and I'm so excited to bring him into Fredericton. I'm excited to bring him into the Maritimes for the first time. Canada, let alone completely for the first time, actually. So it's just fun giving talent from America more opportunities, and at the same time giving our guys opportunities to work people they've never worked before.
Absolutely. You're not going to get better.
Chantal's like, right now she's looking for intergender more than anything else, and I understand that. Right? I totally get that. But I was like, but if I can find you someone you've never worked before. And she's like, well, then absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
And that's incredible. Like, I don't, like, we don't have an actual women's division, like I said. We will be doing some intergender stuff going forward. So that's going to be fun to see, too.
Yes, no, absolutely it is. The business is changing. The business evolves. Change with the times or get lost in the past.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the one thing I feel like our card is missing. Is an intergender match. But
you've got a month and a half before your show. Anything could happen between now and then.
Anything could happen. You never know.
I mean, the business is blooming. Some like to, and I'll say this. There are times that Maritime Wrestling does kind of get a little sloppy, and thank God for some guys who will kick it in the ass and they remind it, hey, clean your act up. If you're going to be here and you're going to put on shows, then put on the best possible show you can.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
you guys have got you guys have already based your first show. You've already got your location. You've already got your matches. Yes, subjects always, the card's always subject to change.
Yep.
But you just know where you're going and you've already set course. So now, in a month and a half, April 24th, you guys are going to arrive. You guys are going to look to make an impact. If you could leave the fans in Fredericton with a message, you're coming there, what would your message be to them that maybe are on the fence of buying a ticket, or maybe they've bought their ticket but they're worried that it wasn't worth it? What message could you give the fans of Fredericton of professional wrestling?
Well, you've seen the variety on the card. You've seen the different styles that we're going for, and how there's a little bit for everybody. And don't forget, special guest ring announcer is Maritime Drag Community's Angelica Good. So my message is, come see our vision of an all-inclusive wrestling. A little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody. Everybody's welcome.
How are people getting tickets?
Right now, all you have to do is message the Facebook page, which is Vision Pro Wrestling 2020. And either me or the owner will be talking to you directly, and we'll be dealing with you. We do e-transfer for the $20 VIP seats, which is reserved seating for first 2 rows, and you get in at 6:30 instead of 7, so you get in half an hour earlier. In the future, there's possibility of pre-show matches during that. Right now, it's more of a little get some time with some of the wrestlers, meet and greet thing.
I think it's great, man. I think your head is on straight. I think your show is going to be a bang-up, knockdown, all-out brawl. I think you guys are setting course for the right things. You guys have a title match. You've got a women's match. You've got Chip Chambers on the card. I love it. I'm excited. I may just have to jump my car, come down and see it. You guys are only an hour away from me. Really excited, Trevor. I think this is the right thing, man.
Well, thank you very much, man. It means a lot to hear that. It's good to know that we've had a lot of positive feedback, and it's nice to hear. It's fun.
Well, you know what, brother? I have a good feeling about it. So, Trev, listen, you're the head of talent relations. You're the man. I can't wait to talk to you again. VPW, April 24th in Fredericton, buddy. I can't wait.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
You too, buddy.